What's up, guys? This is me, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, it's going to be my freshman year note flip through. I don't have a script for this, but I'm going to give you guys some advice for each class while I flip through my notebook for this class. So the first class I have is AP Bio. This has to be one of my favorite classes ever, besides the next class, World History. This is the second favorite, but I really love learning about science. Science has to be one of my favorite subjects because it's just really nice to learn about the chemistry and how things are, and like I love history because it shows you how things are to be and how they ran. I don't know, it's really hard explanation. But for some advice for this class, and AP classes in general, make sure you always are checking your AP course framework. That is going to help you a lot. You see this little annotation in color pens. I would take the notes in lecture in the black, and then I would go to the AP course framework on each specific topic, and then just jot in the notes they have for the certain topic. And that landed me like an A on every test I took in that class. So make sure you regularly check that AP course framework. That's going to help you during class, for the AP exam, all those things. Another thing I wish I would have done is also regularly do AP practice questions. Sometimes teachers don't give you those practice questions, and no offense to my teacher at all, she was a great teacher. For our tests, they just weren't AP exam questions. So when I got to the AP exam questions, I was like really shocked. I'm like, what is this? I thought I was great at test taking for this class, but I really wasn't. So make sure you're regularly doing AP practice questions and long free response, short free response, multiple choice. Just make sure you're regularly doing that, so over the year you can learn the pattern of them asking questions, instead of while you're trying to study for the exam you're learning the pattern. I think that's something I wish I would have done differently. And also pay attention. This class is very detail orientated, and a lot of people and a lot of certain aspects, like one or two words can change the entire answer. So make sure you're paying very close attention in this class. But overall, AP Bio is a 5 out of 5 stars for this class. I really enjoyed it. And moving on to the next subject, which is going to be World History, which is actually my #1 favorite class. So moving on to World History, like I said, is my #1 favorite class. I love the teacher, I love the subject. History is one of my favorite subjects to begin with. I'm just a nerd in general, but I love history. It was really hard at the beginning, but once I got the understanding of how this class is going to run, it was really nice. Something for World History I want to tell everyone is study. Please study, because World History covers a lot of time and a lot of little things for each one. I know it was hard for me at first because I didn't understand how she was going to ask the question on the test. And use all your resources. Some World History is such a broad topic that some teachers use assignments and like bell ringers or first 15s and like notes all in one for the curriculum, instead of like, oh, so here's the notes, that's what you need to know, and then the bell ringers like to reinforce the notes. No, like bell ringer, notes, assignments, and classroom activities and readings are literally the curriculum for you, because it's such a big and large curriculum. Like you can see one set of notes can take up to like 1 to 2 or 3 pages. So I definitely recommend making sure you pay attention in lecture. Also, handwrite your notes in this class. I think that's something that's really needs to be talked about. I learned and I remember easily when you handwrite, because you're having that muscle memory of trying to remember, and then also synthesize your notes. So say you get your notes, don't copy it like, oh, the Renaissance began in 1792. Maybe say the Ren began in 1792. So therefore you're forcing your brain to make like mental abbreviations, and you're going to remember this more because you're making those abbreviations off the top of your head and not from like, you know, the slide. Also, one more thing is read all your notes and readings and re-annotate them, and make sure you annotate all your readings. Make sure you do that, because that's practically notes. Reread and read your notes. I hate rereading notes, but if you're adding notes to them, making sure you're mentally jogging yourself back to that situation when you took them, that's going to be really great. So all I say is take hand notes and reread your notes before a test, because there is a lot of information between each unit, and make sure you're using all your resources, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because World History is one of those classes where if you don't get it, you need to ask questions, because they build on top of each other. Like the French Revolution is going to build on top, the Haitian Revolution is going to build from the French Revolution, so you have to make sure that you're always staying on top of that. I mean, that may not be the order, but everything builds on each other in this class, especially throughout the year. So, Algebra 2. me and this class have had our battles. I am particularly good at math. The teacher I had for first semester was not for me, and I think one thing I need to talk about is that because you're used to doing well in a class, sometimes it's not you, it's sometimes the teacher, and the teaching method just doesn't work for you. And I was beating myself up because I was like, I've always been great at math, like this is why I'm so advanced in high school, but I wasn't doing great in it. But I just want you guys to know that make sure you are not taking any too hard blows at yourself when it comes to this class, or just when it comes to school in general. Just remember, it is school, it is not your life, it is not determine the rest of your life. Okay, so just remember that. That's one big tip when it comes to these higher level classes. But for math in general, I know you guys heard it 3,000-4,000 times. Practice problems is the way to go, and make sure you're taking detailed notes. I think that's like really what this entire video is about. But practice problems and detailed notes and memorization of the formulas. As you can see, these boxes are formulas, so make sure that like your formulas are easily like available and ready to go. So like if you're studying for a test, you're like have to go through all your notes, like where's this formula. You can literally look at one note set and you see all the boxes and you're like, oh, there's a formula, so those are very important information I need to know. So make sure formulas stand out more and it begins easier and easier for you to get in math. But yeah, I think that's about it for math, because like I said, math, me and this class struggled a lot this year, but it was really nice to finally finish off with an A. Yeah, that's right, an A. So the very last class, which is Spanish 2, and if you guys have followed me from my journey of Spanish from last year, I barely passed, and this year I passed with flying colors. I'm just so proud of myself. I never thought I was gonna able to get Spanish or learn it, and so some tips I did that helped me is Spanish Dick does help. Don't cheat using it, but make sure you're using it as a reference. Another thing is ask questions and make important things known. Like I said, use that box method. And also what also helped me in Spanish is you see how all my note headers are in Spanish. That helped me learn and recall like different words. Like I know pronoun means pronombres in Spanish because I will have to write that down so many times in Spanish. And make sure vocabulary and things stand out. Also, as you can see, I drifted off. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media at Stationary here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere. And don't forget to use my promo code OSFAM10 for 10% off. And that is it. Bye, my stationary fam.